Alright, welcome back. Last time we fought our first Light Warden and returned Knight to Lakeland. And now we're supposed to go chill out in our bedroom. Welcome back, miss. I wonder if anyone could sleep in the city in such an uproar. But will you be retiring to your quarters? Yes. Very good. In light of the present situation, I've had illumination prepared for all our rooms. No need to rush to the markets for lanterns or candles. Have a pleasant rest, miss. Nighttime.
So it's your lot's turn to be the Warriors of Darkness, is it? It's funny how things work out.
You could say that. Been watching, have you?
Well, I did warn you. I followed you to Yulmore and then on to Armarang. And I was there when you slew the Light Warden. Those white-haired twins who were with you. I remember them from our battle in the Source. Are they your friends then? Through thick and thin?
Uh-huh.
Aye. Then I suggest you keep them close. It's when you charge ahead trying to save someone else that you end up losing those you love. Not that you need telling, I'll bet you've lost plenty. But I wonder, what will it cost you this time?
What indeed?
I don't remember when it was that I learned regret wasn't worth the bother. You get numb to it all over the years. The lost comrades, the broken promises, the abandoned principles. Just more nagging burdens to ignore.
Who's that?
So this is what the light was hiding. She's here. I must go to her.
Meanwhile, inside an Imperial Magitech facility in the Source.
Intruders! Fan out and find them!
Hey, Stinian.
Out of my way!
Stay your weapon. We are not your enemy. When the alarm sounded, I wondered what we had done to betray our presence. But I see now we are not the only intruders. Sir Estinian, I presume. The dragoon who plucked the Warrior of Light from the jaws of death? Your armor is most distinct.
much as yours once was. But even without it, I see a former legator still has eyes and ears in unexpected places. Van Baelsar, in the flesh. Though I understand you prefer Shadow Hunter.
You are in contact with the Scions, I take it.
Right. The Estinian shrug.
Through no choice of my own, they tracked me down and conscripted me to their cause. I swear their receptionist was trained as a spy. Not that anyone can escape that Baldessian woman once she has caught the scent of your ether.
Yes, he was tracked down by Tataru and Kryle.
If they have resorted to using freelancers, I must assume their attempts to wake the afflicted have failed. And what of their champion?
Away on other business. Thus, it has fallen to me to root out any trace of the Empire's new weapon.
If it is Black Rose you seek, you are too late. My people have already completed your mission here.
Convenient.
Yet this is but one factory among many. When they caught wind of our efforts, they built additional facilities to ensure production continues unabated. There will be no one left in the lands they conquer. No citizens to conscript. No skills to exploit. Nothing the Empire needs. And they will call it victory.
What exactly does this Black Rose do?
The gas is described as a poison, but its actual effect is more arcane in nature. It was created to disrupt the ether in living beings, to bring the flow of their life energies to a standstill.
Oh.
Inhaling even the tiniest amount will cause all bodily functions to cease, much as a potent venom will stop a man's heart. Released over a city, Black Rose could conceivably kill every inhabitant, and all without damaging a single structure.
That's quite the poison.
Search every corner! Rouse the barracks if you have to! I want this facility secured!
I have more questions, but now is not the time.
Sir Estinian, I have an offer for you, but I will make it only once. Since it would seem we seek the same answers, you are welcome to join us.
Ha! From what I hear, you need all the help you can get. In case you don't know, Varys himself confessed that your empire was a creation of the Ascians.
I am aware of what his Radiance said at the parley. Thus I would return to the capital, that I might behold the truth of this corruption with my own eyes. My path leads to Garlemald.
Hello, manager of suites. An unwelcome guest. Ah, begging your pardons, miss, but do you perchance intend to head outside? If so, I would strongly advise you not to stray too far from the Crystarium. Word has it Yulmore has dispatched its military to Lakeland. Given the timing, one can only assume they do not welcome the return of night. Even now, the Exarch is in the Ocular deliberating a response. Then I guess we should go there. To the Ocular. Dun, 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 dun. Please let me in.
You have come at a good time. As you may have heard, we have something of a quandary on our hands. Laxon Loft here in Lakeland. Yulmore has sent one of its airships. They have questions for us concerning the death of the Light Warden. Their emissary makes his way here even as we speak.
Does he
I
now?
suppose the sky does rather give the game away.
Indeed. 'Twas inevitable they would come knocking. The only question was how soon.
Knock, knock.
My lord, I am come with the Yulmoran emissary. May I show him in?
A moment, Captain, if you would.
Don't want him to know you have a magic mirror.
Everyone, gather round. I do not wish to show our hand prematurely. Forgive me this liberty. Vanish.
But you've got an invisibility spell.
Enter. Well, well. The commander of the Yulmoran army himself. To what do I owe the honor, General Ranjit?
The Light Warden is dead, Exarch. Were your people responsible?
You are clearly in some haste, my lord. But before I address your question, you must allow me one of my own. What is Yulmore's interest in this?
Yes, what indeed?
His benevolence, Lord Vorthry, is gravely concerned that the actions of an ignorant few may jeopardize relations between man and Sin Eater. Should it transpire that the Crystarium is guilty of abetting the villains responsible for this outrage, my lord has decreed that it suffer the same retribution.
Of course he has.
I see. Since you have been so candid, I too shall speak my mind. Regardless of who is responsible, the Crystarium rejoices in the Light Warden's death and welcomes the return of the night sky. If Yulmore considers this tantamount to aiding those you term villains, then by all means, carry out your retribution.
The Exarch is having his come at me bro moment.
Know, however, that even should every innocent soul in the Crystarium perish, nothing can stop that which has been set in motion.
Folly. The death of one or 1,000,000 Sin Eaters changes nothing. The world is dead, and writhe as we might, like maggots in its rotting course, it will not be reborn. Only by my master's grace may we live out our days in peace. But I waste my breath. You have made your stance clear. I shall relay your words to Lord Vorthry. In the meantime, you would do well to counsel any here who have done more than merely rejoice in recent events, to throw themselves upon Yulmore's mercy, promptly. One last matter. We are searching for a young artist and his assistant. Know you of whom I speak?
An artist and his assistant, no. I cannot say I do.
What a pity. Should they reveal themselves to you, I bid you hand them over at once. My master is most eager to see them again.
Clever.
Am I imagining things, or did he just stare straight at us?
I fear he did. The General is not a man to be trifled with. He is a warrior of fearsome repute who has led Yulmor's army since before Vorthri's time, when the nation still spearheaded the fight against the Sin-Eaters. One does not command the world's mightiest army, and for so long, without possessing exceptional instincts.
If Yulmor chose to send such an individual, we must assume this talk of retribution is more than an idle threat.
Yes, we must.
While we are grateful for your support, my lord, we cannot in good conscience put your people in harm's way.
'Tis noble of you to say, Master Alphino, but my people have been in harm's way since long before you arrived. Yulmor has ever yearned to rule over what remains of the world. Even should we surrender the Warrior of Darkness to them, they would find some other pretext upon which to invade. The people of the Crystarium know this only too well, which is why, when the time comes, I am certain they will fight to the last man. If truth be told, I would not have been surprised had Ranjit declared war here and now.
He may have reason to delay. According to reports, the Yulmoran forces at Laxan Loft were observed taking a prisoner. A young woman believed to be none other than the Oracle of Light, Minfilia.
Huh? Who?
It may be that General Ranjit wishes to convey her to Yulmor before commencing hostilities. Having mentored generations of Minfilias, it would not surprise me if he had made her capture his chief concern.
Generations? I'm sorry, generations of Minfilias?
Ah, of course. How remiss of me. I had intended to speak to you of Minfilia. There is, however, much to say, and precious little time in which to say it. I think it best that you seek out Maren at the Cabinet of Curiosity. He'll be able to enlighten you.
Okay.
Alphino, Alize, would you care to accompany your friend? You doubtless have insights of your own to offer on the matter.
All right. Though I'm still not sure I understand it all myself.
In the meantime, I will set about making provisions for war.
Asuka looks so confused. Alright, let's go to the Cabinet of Curiosity. We can do it this way. Moran, I need you to give me answers. Yes, if you're after books pertaining to the Warrior of Darkness, I'm afraid most are out on loan at present. They are experiencing quite a surge in popularity. Now, want to hear about Minfilia? Oh, you wish to learn about the Oracle of Light? Then it would be my pleasure to assist. After I've finished off some few outstanding tasks, that is, while I attend to them, perhaps you could fetch me a book, The Illustrated Tale of the Oracle of Light, it's called. Though it's intended for younger readers, it provides an excellent summary of the subject matter. The artwork is quite lovely besides. I would not hesitate to recommend it to anyone with an interest in learning about Minfilia. But you must see for yourself. The book should be located on the level below. Should, I say, for while there is a place for everything here, not everything is always in its place, despite my best efforts. In short, if the book is not where it should be, it will almost certainly be somewhere it shouldn't. So, good luck. Helpful. Are you here, book? No. Okay, that's the whole circuit of the level it's supposed to be on. What about here? No. Here? I got it, yay! Moran, I found your book. Have you found the book? Yes. Ah, yes, this is the one. I hope it wasn't too difficult to track down. I'm happy to say I've finished all my pressing tasks. If you want to call your friends over, we can begin learning at once. Without further ado, then... It began 100 years ago when the flood of light threatened to swallow Norvrant. And just as all seemed lost, a savior appeared who halted the all-consuming radiance. A maiden with hair spun of gold and eyes of clearest sapphire. Naught was known about her save that her name was Minfilia, and for delivering the realm she came to be revered as the Oracle of Light. After stopping the flood, the mysterious maiden vanished without a trace, but 15 years later, her name would unexpectedly reappear in the annals of history. When Sin-Eaters laid ruin to the kingdom of Verbert, a young girl was discovered who was immune to the creature's blighted touch. One with hair spun of gold and eyes of clearest sapphire. She was hailed as the Oracle Reborn and came to likewise be called Minfilia. Enlisting in the Yulmoran army, this Minfilia fought and vanquished countless Sin-Eaters. Alas, like so many other soldiers, she eventually met her end in battle. Yet with her dying breath, she whispered unto her grieving comrades, Minfilia will return. And true to her words, some years later, another young girl was discovered who possessed the selfsame eyes, that selfsame hair, and those selfsame powers. She too took the name Minfilia. She too fought Sin-Eaters as a soldier of Yulmore, and she too fell in battle. Many more were to follow in her footsteps, and so the cycle continues to this day. And that concludes the tale. By their valor and sacrifice, these women have saved Norvrant on numerous occasions. And were it not for them, we might never have learned of the Light Wardens and their nature. They sound like formidable warriors. Some, perhaps. The truth is rather less simple. Though the Oracle is reborn with certain common traits, she does not inherit the memories or the knowledge of her previous incarnations. All of the Minfilias thus far were discovered as ordinary girls, unversed in the ways of war and ignorant in the power they harbor. While some embraced their fate and devoted themselves to training, others did not, and all were made to face the Sin Eaters, and all died to keep our hopes alive. What can you tell us of the current Minfilia? She was found by the Yulmoran army some 10 years ago, and taken into their care. Or rather, their custody. She was a prisoner in all but name, for by that time, under Lord Vothry's rule, Yulmor had already abandoned resistance in favor of decadence. Minfilia was an uncomfortable reminder of the war they no longer wished to fight, a potential threat to the peace, so they kept her under lock and key. How dare. For a long while, we heard nothing more of her. Couldn't even be certain she was alive, save that it was in the Yulmoran's best interests for her to remain under their control. But then, 3 years ago, a gallant soul stole into the city and rescued her from their clutches, just like a hero from the tales. Indeed, well, I believe we now have a good grasp of Minfilia's tale. Thank you for your time, Moran. Might I trouble you for a word, Asuka? Outside? Uh-huh. I think I know what it's about. It's probably about the gallant soul who rescued a girl named Minfilia. As you will have already surmised, the gallant soul who rescued Minfilia was none other than our own dear Thancred. They have since been wandering the land together, never remaining in one place for long, which is why we have not yet had a chance to meet them. We know that Minfilia journeyed here as Heidelin's emissary to halt the Flood of Light. It could only be her that the people of the First witnessed 100 years ago, the original Oracle of Light. But while there's plainly some connection between the woman we knew and her namesakes, the fact that these girls do not share her memories must surely mean they are not the same person. Thancred has to understand that. I have no doubt that he understands. The question is how he feels. Regardless, the Thancred we know would not forsake his charge. If she has been captured, we may be certain he will not stand idly by. Humph, there you go again, talking in your roundabout way. If you think we should rescue Minfilia, just spit it out. It just so happens I agree with you. It's quite clear that this Minfilia possesses Heidelin's blessing. And it wouldn't hurt to have a second such individual on our side, right, Asuka? Quite. I see you've made up your minds. Exarch, what brings you here? A report and a proposal. First, the report. Our scouts have confirmed that the Yulmoran forces at Laxon Loft do indeed have Minfilia in their custody. For the present, they are holding her there, but we can be certain they will move her to Yulmor ere long. Should that happen, we may be forced to give her up as lost. So if we mean to act, we should do so quickly. Which brings me to my proposal. I ask that you entrust this undertaking to us, the people of the Crystarium. What? What do you mean by that, Exarch? The Crystarium's resolve.
You are doubtless eager to attempt Minfilia's rescue, and with your combined strength, you may well succeed. But as I said earlier, I do not wish to show our hand unless absolutely necessary.
'Twas not merely the night sky that you restored to us, but hope. Hope for the future of Norvrand. Unlike you, we cannot contend with the Light Wardens, but so long as hope burns in our hearts, we will fight on regardless. This I will prove to you. My friends, I thank you for gathering at such short notice. There is something I would ask you all. As many of you are aware, I received an emissary from Yulmore a short while ago in the form of General Ranjit. To my dismay, the General condemned the slaying of the Light Warden, and warned me in no uncertain terms that, should the Crystarium cast its lot with the Warrior of Darkness, there would be war. Let none be mistaken. We would be hard-pressed indeed to resist the might of Yulmore. Some would even call it suicide. And yet my heart cries out to fight. Better that than relinquish the hope that swelled in my breast when I beheld the night sky for the first time in 100 years. Or so says my heart. My mind, meanwhile, reminds me that to follow my heart would be to risk everything we have accomplished thus far. Clearly, this is not a decision to be made lightly, nor less alone. And so I put the question to you all. What should we do?
My lord, you already know our minds. It brought tears to our eyes to witness the knight's return. The whole of Norvrand deserves the same, and not just because some children's story tells us so.
Yulmore's influence is far-reaching. Should war break out, trade would be subject to restrictions. The flow of goods will dry up, and we will struggle to make do with what little trickles through. But make do we will.
Aye, we can weather such hardships. Is that not the very thing the Crystarium was built for? We have always taken pride in our ability to sustain ourselves. Not just to endure, but to thrive.
When all falls down around you, rise up. Those were your words. There may come a day when all hope seems lost, but even should the rest of the world give in to despair, we shall not. We shall fight on, that our children and our children's children might know a better tomorrow.
Rousing words apart, I never much cared for those Yulmoran bastards anyway. No better than common swindlers, most of them. Wouldn't know a fair deal if it came up and kissed them on the arse.
Trust you to spoil the moment.
It appears we have a consensus. Let it be known that the Yulmoran host at Laxon Loft has taken the Oracle of Light captive. They fear the power she holds over the Sin Eaters, and doubtless intend to imprison her once more. So, I move that we rescue the Oracle, grant her a place among us, and let that be our answer to Yulmore's ultimatum.
Hear, hear!
Hear, hear!
Hear, hear.
In planning a strategy for the rescue, I open the floor to you all.
And there you have it. If Yulmore wishes to denounce us as villains, then we shall embrace our villainy.
Will you do so as well?
Of course.
We will not be outdone. Consider us your partners in crime.
My lord, our proposal is as follows. We begin by deploying Amaro to occupy the skies over Lakeland. They should serve to delay the airship's departure. At the same time, we scatter dream powder from the air. Not all will succumb to its effects, but it should thin the enemy's numbers, affording us an opening to swoop in and liberate the Oracle.
Just have dream powder?
Very good. See to your preparations.
Dun, dun.
And what exciting crimes would you have us commit? Speaking for my fellow villains, I'd say we're capable of most things, though we draw the line at indolence.
If excitement is your desire, then I bid you join the guard. Captain Lena will give you your orders.
Hey, Lena. So, you will be joining the Guard. But however highly the Exarch thinks of you, you will receive no special treatment from me. Is that clear? Yes. Where's your salute, soldier? Better. More spirited than the Exarch's feeble attempts, certainly. Now, first things first, you will need uniforms. Go to the Crystalline Mean and report to Catelys. She will see you measured and fitted. Alright. We'll teleport. Unlike those square self-known Alizé who are walking. Where are you, Catelys? Ah, there's the last of them. Your friends are being measured as we speak. Right this way. You'll see it. We'll see to it. You look your dashing best for your first outing. Done, are you? Let's have a look at those numbers. I see. How goes it? Sorry, Captain. I'm afraid we don't have anything on hand that's ready fit. But we do have a few that are fairly close. We should be able to make them work with some minor adjustments. Very well then. See to it. To have the uniforms delivered directly to the field. I shall take this opportunity to brief you on the mission. As mentioned earlier, we will deploy Amaro to scatter dream powder from the air. Once the powder takes effect, an elite unit will storm the fortress to rescue the Oracle. Her safe liberation is our sole objective. Engagement is to be avoided wherever possible. I assume we're to be part of said unit? Correct. The unit will be divided into two contingents. one deploying from Fort Job and the other from the Ostal Imperative. You and Alfino will join the former. Asuka, meanwhile, will join the latter with me. Okay. Before you proceed to your positions, you are to report to Chesamil at Spagarex. She will issue you with a serum to ward off the effects of the dream powder. We shall be on our way then. Take care, my friend. We will see you in the field. It's quite far to the Imperative, so you may make use of Amaro from the Rookery, after you have collected the serum, of course. Let's go to Spagarex. What's closest? Probably the Aetheryte planets. This way. Oh, Chesamil. Oh yes, sweetie, is there something you need? Oh, one of the guard come for your dram, are you? Here you go. A dose of this will keep you firmly in the waking world while your enemies are off in dreamland. Thanks. Now, if this is your first time, I should warn you. It's bitter as sin. Prince's kiss, they call it. But if you ask me, it should be Crone's kiss. Hehe. Just aside, the stuff's really foul. Really is foul. Most people gag like there's no tomorrow. But if you don't drain every last drop, you're liable to end up taking a trip to dreamland yourself. So I must ask you to drink it here and now while I watch. Come on, give the old crone a kiss, hee. Drink the vial. Oh, well done, sweetie. I am proud of you. Why, if I didn't know any better, I'd even say you enjoyed it. And now you needn't fear falling asleep on the battlefield. Just have care you don't lose any limbs out there, alright? They don't tend to grow back. Now we go talk to Semgenmai, who's at the Rookery. Hello, Sem. Yes? What do you require of me? An Amaro. An Amaro to take you to the Imperative, eh? As much as I would like to oblige, all our mounts are reserved for the coming operation. I fear you will have to go by foot. But wait, there might be another way, assuming you're willing to lend a hand. Logistics of war. I was about to deliver an Amaro to Radisca's Round, one of the locations whence the beasts will fly for the operation. The tower lies along the route to the Imperative. If near enough is good enough for you, you may make the delivery in my stead. Very good. I shall see the Amaro ready for departure at once. Cool. Oh. We're outside. Radisca's Round is to the north and west. You can take the road or you can fly. It's up to you. Upon arriving, make yourself known to the sentry, and she will give you further instructions. If you should become separated from the Amaro, worry not. Beasts are trained to return to the Rookery. That is all. Go well. We'll fly to Radisca's Round on our Amaro. go. Oh, you're delivering that ammo to us? I'm afraid there's been a change of plans. We already have all the beasts we require here. Instead, this one is to go to the Imperative to the west. Please see it to the handler on duty, FFXIV. If you encounter trouble along the path, return here and I'll set you rightwise. Okay. Convenient, that's where we're going anyway. Hello, FFXIV. Ah, the last Amaro. My thanks, friend. You may leave the beast with me. Say, I don't believe I know you. Did you join the guard recently? Yes. Ah, so that is the way of it. Well, you managed to arrive, and that's all that matters in the end. I bid you welcome to the Hostile Imperative, one of our key strongholds in Lakeland. The first thing you'll want to do is report to the captain. You'll find her at the lookout across the way. Captain. There you are. So, it seems that rather than the Amaro delivering you, you delivered the Amaro. I'll not thank you. I expect all my soldiers to make themselves useful. Speaking of which, I have a task for you. The Oracle of Light. In readiness for the operation, the Amaro will need to be treated with the same serum as us. As you well know, however, it is not pleasant. In order to coax them into taking it, we have sprinkled it on their fodder. All that remains is to feed it to them. A task I am sure you will enjoy. Fetch the fodder from the Amaro launch and see to 4 of the beasts. Dismissed. Okay. Fodder. Now let's feed some Amaros. Have some food. Gwee, gwee, gwee. Where else are you, Amaros? Here's one. Have some food. Gleeker. And you have some food. Gwee 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 gwee. Oh, up there. What are you doing up there? Have some food. Gwee? Gwee. Back to Lena. The Amaro are fed? Yes. Good. The rest have already been dosed, so we need not fear any of our mounts succumbing to the dream powder. All units have now entered the final stages of their preparations. The time is nigh. Make ready and await deployment atop the main watchtower. That's not what it is. I will send you your uniform along as soon as it arrives. That is all. May night smile upon us. Let's go up the watchtower. At least this isn't stairs. I mean, yeah, I could fly up to the top, but then you wouldn't really get a sense of scale about just how tall this watchtower is. It just keeps going. And going. We're almost there. Okay, so this is going to be the start of a longer thing. So what we're going to do is call this video here, and when we pick up again in the next video, we'll see about rescuing the Oracle of Light.